this video, we'll be talking about composition of functions and the different operations on the composition of functions. So here are the four different operations on functions given to functions f and g. Then first we have the sum. F plus g of x is the same as f of x plus g of x. And the difference, f minus g of x, is the same as f of x minus g of x. For the product, f times g of x is the same as f of x times g of x. And the quotient, f over g of x, is the same as f of x over g of x, provided that our denominator will not be equal to 0. So for example, number 1, given the two functions f of x equals x squared minus 1 and g of x equals x squared minus x. So compute for f of x plus g of x and f of x minus g of x, f of x times g of x, and the quotient f of x divided by g of x. So for the solution, first we have the sum f of x plus g of x equals, since f of x is this function x squared minus 1, so x squared minus 1 plus g of x is x squared minus x, so x squared minus x, so combine like terms, x squared plus x squared is the same as 2x squared minus x minus 1. So the answer is 2x squared minus 1. And 4, since sabi niya dito, determine the domain of each operation. So since mapapansin mo dito sa resulting function, lahat ng values ng x will satisfy this function. So therefore, the domain is the set of values of x such that x is an element of a real number. So for the difference, f of x minus g of x equals x squared minus 1 minus the value of g of x, x squared minus x, which is equal to x squared minus x squared will be 0, negative 1, and then negative minus negative x will be positive. So again, whatever the values of x here will satisfy this function. So therefore, the domain is still the set of values of x in the real number. For the multiplication or the product, f of x times g of x, x squared minus 1 multiplied by x squared minus x is the same as x to the fourth minus x cubed minus x squared plus x. And still, whatever the values of x here will satisfy this function. So therefore, the domain is the set of all real numbers. And for the quotient, f of x divided by g of x, f of x is the same as x squared minus 1 divided by g of x, which is x squared minus x. We know for the fact that x squared minus 1 is the same as x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 1. Or simply the product of this one is x minus 1 divided by x plus 1. And x squared minus x is the same as x multiplied by x minus 1. So x minus 1 will be cancelled out. X plus 1 divided by x will be the resulting function. And for the domain, whatever the values of x here will satisfy this function except for the values of 0. Bakit? Kasi ayaw natin maging 0 si denominator. Kasi magiging undefined yung function. So the domain is the set of all values of x's in the real number except for x equals 0. The composite of f and g denoted by f circle g is defined by two conditions. First, f circle g of x is the same as f of g of x. Second, x is in the domain of g and g of x is in the domain of f. And the domain of f circle g is a set satisfying condition number 2, and the operation that combines the function f and g is called function composition. For example, number 2, given the function f of x equals x squared plus 3x minus 4 and g of x equals x minus 2, evaluate the following. First, f of negative 1. Second, g of 4. Letter C. Or third, f of g of x. Letter D, g of 2. And letter E, f circle g of 2. For the solution, f of negative 1, we know that the function is x squared plus 3x minus 4. Substituting negative 1 in this function, negative 1 square plus 3 times negative 1 minus 4, negative 1 square is positive 1, plus 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, so positive 1 minus 3 is negative 2, minus 4 is negative 6. Next, g of 4. We know that the function is x minus 2, substituting 4 in x in this function. So we have 4 minus 2, the answer is 2. And for letter C of f of g of x, we know that the function is for f is x squared plus 3x minus 4, but the function in g is x minus 2. So we need to substitute g in f. So in other words, x minus 2 will be substituted in all x's in this function. So f of this one is the same as f of x minus 2. So x minus 2 squared plus 3 times x minus 2 minus 4. X minus 2 squared is the same as x squared minus 4x plus 4. 3 times x minus 2 is 3x minus 6 minus 4. The answer is x squared minus x minus 6. For the letter D, g of 2 is the same as g of 2 minus 2. Why? Because the function g of x is x minus 2. So substituting 2 in x, we have 2 minus 2. And substituting this value into the same function g, the answer is g of, since 2 minus 2 is 0, so g of 2. G of 0. 0 minus 2, the answer is negative 2. And for letter E, f circle g of 2, substituting 2 first in the function g, and after that the value of that function will be substituted to the function f. So ang una natin gagawin, we need to substitute 2 in the function g. So x minus 2, so 2 minus 2, which is this one, 2 minus 2 is 0. So that 0 will be substituted in the function f. So 0 squared plus 3 times 0 times negative 4, the value is negative 4. For example number 3, given the following functions, f of x equals 2x minus 1 and g of x equals square root of 2x plus 1 and h of x equals the greatest integer function of x plus 1. Find the following. First is g circle f of x. Second is h circle g of 10. And third, h of 2.1 multiplied by the sum of f of 3 and g of 4. For the solution, we need to calculate g of g circle f of x. So g circle f of x is the same as g of f of x. We need to substitute the value of the function f of x into the function g. So since this is the function g, and we need to substitute 2x minus 1 in the x here, so the value will become square root of 2 times 2x minus 1 plus 1. So this is the same as square root of 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 plus 1. Okay? So square root of 4x minus 2 plus 1 is the same as square root of 4x minus 1. Second, h circle g of 10. So this is 10. Let's change this to 10. So h circle g of 10 is the same as h of g of 10. G of 10 is the same as this one. So we need to substitute 10 in this function, square root of 2x plus 1. The answer is square root of 21. And then square root of 21 will be substituted in the value x in this function. So the greatest integer function of square root 21 plus 1, since the value of square root of 21 is approximated 4.58. So the greatest integer that you can form out of this number is 4. Okay? So 4 plus 1 is 5. And for the last, h of 2.1 multiplied by the sum of f of 3 plus g of 4. First, we need to substitute 2.1 in the function h of x equals the greatest integer function x plus 1. Since 2.1, the greatest integer function or greatest integer that you can form this decimal is 2 plus 1 multiplied by f of 3, which is 2 times 3 minus 1, is the same as 5 plus square root of 2 times 4 plus 1. Since this is g of 4, papalitan mo ng 4 yung x dyan. So, square root of 2 times 4 plus 1 is the same as 3. But square root of, 9. But square root of 9 is the same as 3. So, 3 times 5 plus 3 is 3 times 8. And that's the same as 24.